All right. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's another Thursday. We're about to get into it. Guys, we're going to talk about something really important that you need to know about, which is your prostate. And what I need for you to do, if you could, go ahead and hop into the comment section. Let me know where you're from, where you're representing. Give me your name. So we can have this conversation, very important conversation, especially as we get older. Thank the Lord we get older. And then on the other hand, there's some things that just stop working the way they used to. So we're gonna talk about that. So whether you're young or old, as a man, you need to know about your prostate. It's daggone near designed not to work right at some point in your life. So we want to make sure you are able to avoid that. You have all the information, and you're not on that train of, hey, what we're going to do is get you on these drugs. Shout out Damon's Math Shop. What's going on? Orlando in the house. Good to see you there, brother. Uh-huh. Yes. Good evening. Colin, what's going on with you? For those guys who don't know, hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 21 years. I've been a men's performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And basically, with that as a supplement, the thing that I realized is that you have to supplement the supplements. You have to do other things. What's going on? Drizzle Dizzle. Arizona in the house. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Actually, hold on one second. All right. Just want to give myself a little bit of headroom. Yeah, you want to get it right. All right. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, fellas, when it comes to the prostate, there's some foods that you need to be very aware of, and that's what we're going to talk about. As always, what I'm going to do is just run through this really quickly. This video was actually put out earlier today. And this is what we do. Videos come out every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then 9 p.m. I hop on to go ahead and break it down, give you the information that you need so you can execute. There's some fine things in there you may have some questions about. And that's what we do. We answer those questions. Shout out to Larry, Bermuda in the house. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, we're talking about your prostate. That's really important because, well, if you're a man, you have that. And what is the prostate? Basically, it is the size of a walnut, size of a golf ball. But its location right under the bladder with the urinary tract going through it, daggone near guarantees something's going to go wrong. And we want to make sure it doesn't happen. And the three things that typically go wrong, we're talking about prostatitis, we're talking about infection, inflammation of the prostate. Then there's BPH. I've experienced this myself, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Basically, that's age-related enlargement. It does get bigger as you get older. And then we talk about prostate cancer, the growth of cancerous cells inside of the prostate. So today, what we're going to dive into really is the BPH part. That's a lot more common. Unfortunately, prostate cancer is becoming more common. And, if you're having BPH issues, that's making you more susceptible to getting prostate cancer. So that's what we're going to go over. And just some housekeeping right quick. First of all, shout out to my crew, not only in-house, but down there in Florida, making it happen for us, making sure we can get the show out. Yeah, Larry tried zinc, very important for that. Yep. Zinc definitely does help, but we want to talk about why. And that's the thing, guys. We want to make sure you understand not just you have it, what to do, but the whys behind it, so you can make informed decisions going forward. All right. If you're just hopping on, go ahead and leave your name and where you're representing in the chat section. Let's go ahead and get to know each other, and we're going to get into those questions. If you have questions, that's what we do. That's why we're here right now, to get the questions in. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Dudley, what's going on with you, sir? All right. As I mentioned before, prostate enlargement. As you get older, your prostate gets bigger. So how does this look? So basically, just say this is your bladder. It's what fills up with that liquid that needs to get out your body after them beers. And so outside of that, what drops down is your urinary tract. And what encapsulates that, your urinary tract going down, is your prostate. Like I said, it's about the size of a walnut. And as it gets larger, it will actually start squeezing your urinary tract. And The question is, before people start running out, okay, what kind of pill can I take? Is it zinc? Is it that? It's like, what's the question? What is causing it? And basically, it's hormones. I mean, your body comes prepackaged with a whole bunch of hormones. But we're talking specifically about your anabolic hormones, the hormones that build up. When we talk about muscles, you hear about anabolic hormones and things like that. That's what's building your body up. So those hormones include prolactin, estrogen, DHT, cortisol, insulin, growth hormones, IGF-1. These are all circulating in your body already, but what is happening that would actually sort of pump this up? And let's get into that first food group that you have to be careful of. Shout out to Michael. That first food group. Well, let's think it's all the way through. What food would have a whole bunch of anabolic steroids? Milk. Milk and the milk byproducts. We're talking about cheese, yogurts, ghee, things of that nature. And this is because we're drinking cow's milk. We're talking specifically about cow's milk, any milk, but other than mother's milk. But cow's milk is designed to stimulate the growth of a calf into a cow or to a bull. And so you're talking about having a bunch of hormones in there. So, of course, if you're consuming these hormones on a consistent basis over the course of your life, what is going to happen? Well, you're going to be building up the hormone centers of your body. So what are the hormone centers of a woman? We're talking about breasts. And you're messing with the breast milk. You cannot mess with the breast milk. We're talking about also your prostate. So if you're drinking a lot of milk, even if it's milk with cookies, got some people in the house with some milk and cookie issues. But if you're drinking it with, Damon doesn't do dairy. That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. But yeah, if you're consuming a lot of milk, that's going to be an issue for you. So you want to avoid milk with a passion. Think about it. Milk also does a bunch of other things inside of your body, such as one, they did a test with young boys. They gave them milk. Within 30 minutes, their testosterone levels went down. Why? Because you're giving them milk from a giant female that's not related to them. So, all right, we got London, England in the house. All right, loving it. So let's keep on going. I want to talk about your eating pattern. Eating patterns, what you're eating during the day before we get into the specific foods. But what you want to do is eat at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Basically, you know this. A lot of this stuff your mama told you. Go outside and play, eat your fruits and vegetables, go to sleep on time. But as far as the foods, you want to go for those with deep, bright color. And you want to choose whole grain bread instead of white pasta, and choose whole grain pasta in cereals. The difference between whole grain and white milk, white bread is bleach. Why are you bleaching your bread? Not sure. All right. You want to also limit your consumption of meat. We talk about that all the time, including all animals. I get it. I used to eat my 200 to 300 animals per month. You got to cut that back down. So when we're talking about processed meats, those are especially bad. Now, realize, of course, like I always say, when you're taking something that's alive that you can't eat, say chicken or cow or fish, and then you turn it into something that you can eat, say fish fillet, hamburger patty, chicken sandwich. When you are doing that, that just basically means that you have processed the hell out of it. So when they say processed foods, all animals have to be processed. We can't eat them raw. That's the truth of it. All right. Jamaica in the house. Sean, Spain. What's going on with you, sir? Ed, New York City. All right. Moonshine Gun is almond milk as well. Almond milk is coming from an almond, so that's fine. that is a great substitute for cow, the dairy. You want to cut out all saturated fats from the dairy and other animal products. You just want to get animal products out of your life. And I do realize, I often talk about that. And for some guys, it's going to take a little time. It's a journey. You want to avoid partially hydrogenated fats, trans fats, those type of things, which are in many fast foods and the packaged foods. It's like, how do you keep something from spoiling? Trans fats. just oil, extra oil in there. You want to avoid the sugar sweetened drinks such as sodas and many fruit juices. When we're talking about your prostate is very sensitive to insulin. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Larry says it seems that all processed foods are not good for the body. You have to consider that before World War II, the vast majority of food wasn't processed. In order to send food overseas on boats for long periods of time, they just figured out how to process it, put it all together, and make it last for a long time. And then after the war was over, they were like, oh, we're going to use this technology and give it to everybody. So Swanson, yeah. Hungry Man, all that stuff came out after that. So yes, all processed. Yeah. I love Hungry Man too, all the way until I realized that was killing me. So, also, you want to limit the use of canned foods, processed and frozen. I did a video where I talked about the differences between when you're getting especially your fruits and vegetables. It's better to get it local and organic, with the nutrition. But as you go down the path of canning it, you're going to lose nutrition. You freeze it, you're not going to lose as much, but you're still going to lose partial of the nutrition that's in your fruits and vegetables. So, go natural. All natural is always better. And of course, you want to watch your portion sizes. They like to supersize you on purpose because the more they know that, if you come to their restaurant, whether it's McDonald's, Wendy's, whoever, if they give you as much as possible, then they know that you'll come back. So, yeah, you want to be very careful out there. All right. Deshaun Johnson, Detroit's in the house. Love it. Love it. Good to see you there, sir. All right. So let's talk about those specific foods that can shrink your prostate. And we're talking about fruits. And like I said, the red fruits, the deep color fruits, they have lycopene. And lycopene is just good for helping out with your prostate. We're talking about tomatoes, grapefruit, papaya, apricots, watermelon, etc. Of course, watermelon is nature's Viagra. So you want to have that Viagra with you at all times. Seeded. You want to get the black seed one. All right. And citrus fruits, oranges and lemons, those are good. Nuts containing zinc. So there was a question about that zinc in there. Zinc is very good for that. I did a video talking about zinc supplements. You want to check that out. That'll help you in terms of trying to figure it out. But cashews, peanuts, and almonds have a ton of zinc in it, though not everybody can eat those. Can't eat nuts. So Brazil nuts have vitamin D. So vitamin D is also very good. I mean, obviously you can get vitamin D just by being out in the sun, and that's very helpful for a whole bunch of other reasons, as you would know. And of course, you can get vitamin D from supplements. Try to get it naturally. Avocados, oils, and pistachios. Those are all good for you. And also the pungent foods. We're talking about garlic and onions. Those are all good for helping along with your prostate. So, if you want to take notes with that, we should have it down in the description. But, that's really important that you guys are looking for that. Whenever I talk about food, I want it to be as natural as possible so you can keep on, eating it for as long as possible. And so what are you going to do along with the foods? Hey, thanks. Can you hit the button over there? Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So, what you want to do is eat diets that are low level of insulin. Yeah. Get on. Yep. No, air. Yep. There we go. So, yeah, you want to be careful with the amount of insulin. Like I mentioned before, with the amount of insulin that we have in our diets, when I say insulin, I'm talking about carbs. I'm talking about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is a macronutrient that you actually don't need to have in your life. That's the reason why you're able to do certain things in terms of being able to, when they talk about keto sort of scares me, but we'll talk about it in a different session. But when it comes to just avoiding carbs, that's a very difficult thing to do in our society. But that's because we're overloaded with it. You can imagine just drinking, having your milk and cereal every day for a great deal of your life, all of that insulin, all of that milk is adding up to just building up to you having problems later on in your life. So you do want to avoid having a bunch of carbs in your diet, so you don't drive up that insulin. You drive up the insulin, what actually happens is that it your prostate has receptors in there that takes the insulin and it actually starts multiplying cells and actually making those cells larger. That's what makes your prostate larger. And when we're talking about BPH, we're talking about basically cutting off the urinary tract. So what'll end up happening, because it happened to me, is that you'll end up waking up in the middle of the night, needing to go to the bathroom. And when you get to the bathroom, tinkle, 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 nothing's really coming out. Now you're awake, you're pissed, you've been up, and it's, that cycle doesn't help at all. You're messing up with your body. So Henry asks, do fruits have carbs? Yes, fruits do have carbs. However, when you're eating whole fruits, fruits come with a lot of fiber. Your body optimally runs on fiber. So having the nutrients in there along with the carbs, that's fine. The fruits and everything, that's what we're supposed to be eating. It's the other things that we're having in too much of abundance that causes problems. PJ, lemons, ginger, garlic, cinnamon elixir. Cinnamon elixir? I'm not sure about the elixir part, but yeah, those things on point. All right. So what else do you need to do? You need to get more active. I mean, that's just, as you get older, this is just part of life. You're going to have to be more active because studies have shown that, that just you have less issues with BPH. And in fact, the way that I got rid of and got out of it, and I didn't realize I was doing it at the time, was in terms of just basically intermittent fasting. So when I started doing intermittent fasting, literally what I was doing was cutting out the milk side of things. I was cutting out, eating basically a third of my diet was being cut out. And so that helped my body give it time to repair itself. So that's also something that you want to do. If you're doing your intermittent fasting, if you're eating correctly, you can reduce the symptoms of BPH. Very important, because if you continue to have problems down there, it, as you get older, it's just going to get worse and worse. One thing that people often say is that, it's testosterone. Testosterone is what causes your prostate to get larger. And no, that makes no sense, because your prostate gets larger as you get older. Your testosterone gets lower as you get older. Wouldn't you have prostate when you're like 18, 19, or 20, when your testosterone is jacked up? So I would say, I'm not sure where they got those studies from, but it's pretty easy for me understanding the way, things work. What probably happened is doctors were running around saying, oh, well, your testosterone is getting lower, and that's the reason why your prostate is getting bigger. So let me give you more testosterone. Well, they would give you testosterone, synthetic testosterone. What does your body do when you get synthetic testosterone? It says, I'm going to be lazy than a motherfucker. And what I'm going to do is stop. I'm just going to stop making testosterone myself. But to balance out the testosterone you just gave me, I'm going to jack up the estrogen. What did we say earlier in terms of the hormones that can help build anabolically? We're talking about estrogen. Estrogen is one of those. So they're sticking in testosterone. Your body's turning it into estrogen, and then your prostate is getting larger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ed, that's a deep question. I'm gonna get you in a second, Ed. But yeah. Guys, you want to, be careful with the milk, be careful with the sugar, lower your carbs. All of those things can help out. You don't want to get stuck in the land of BPH. Woo! I mean, the number of nights just getting up, just going for no reason. And even now, every once in a while, just like I'm human, just like everybody. I'm like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna grab something, eat it. And the next thing I was like, why do I feel like I have to go to the bathroom? It's because of that. I had that extra carbs, the insulin, especially eating it later at night. You're not giving your body the time to breathe it out. And that's how you get rid of those toxins. The way you lose weight is by breathing. So I didn't give my body enough time, and therefore, up in the middle of the night. And one of the things that you should look out for, one of the most deadly, for me it was one of the most deadly things that I was doing to my body, because I stopped drinking milk for years. However, I ain't stopped with that pizza. Oh, that deep dish. We're talking about, what is in pizza? High number of carbs from that crust. They put a lot of sugar in that tomato, the tomato paste. They put a lot of sugar and also in that tomato paste. And what is in the cheese? Obviously, it's milk that's in cheese. What do they do with cheese that makes it so good? It's got a lot of fat and a lot of salt, along with a lot of sugar. So, perfect storm of, I would go order myself a medium-sized pizza, something to sip on, and just sit back and enjoy myself until I had to get back up in the morning, before morning, to go to the bathroom. Jay asked that question: does cane sugar, is it good? Cane sugar is closer, but it's still processed. Is it good for? Is cane sugar good for in terms of your prostate? No. But in terms of where sugars are coming from, basically cane sugar is in the stalk. You're not biting that stalk. You have to actually crush it in order to. It's a long process. Once again, it's processed, so there's no nutrients in sugar, and so that's the reason why it's so addictive and can cause so many different issues. Moonshine Gunner, does weight increase the chances of enlarged prostate? Yeah, weight increases the chances of a lot of different issues, just because, one, you're literally carrying around a lot more poison. What is in your fat cells? Poison. That's what your body stores poison. When people say it's energy, it's like, well, what happens when you're using energy? I was just in the gym and going, all of that breathing, you're getting rid of poison. And that poison, is coming from many different parts. It depends on how your body is situated at that point in time. But if you're trying to get rid of fat, walking is a great way of getting rid of fat. You have to do a lot of walking. But, having additional weight, that additional poison, that shows that you're not working out as much, you're not eating as well, so you're going to start running into some issues. Great question there, sir. Corey asked about what about date sugar? It's still sugar. I know brown sugar. I thought it was like, everybody, brown sugar is healthy for you. Brown sugar is sugar with molasses in it, so it's not that. So let me see. What alternative do you recommend for sugar? Good question, Jay. I would recommend stevia. Stevia, you do want to be careful with. You don't want to go overboard with stevia. Just have it to do a little bit of sweetening for you. But stevia is good. It's a all natural sweetener. You don't need a lot of it. So for some people, it has a little aftertaste, but it's cooking. You just hook it up, and that's what you got to do. Hook it up. Okay. Dudley, other than poor urination, is there any other ways that enlarged prostate hampers sleep? I could say, yeah. It's not just the enlarged prostate, it's also the other chemicals and things that are going on inside your body. In order for you to get to this state, first of all, as you get older, your quality of sleep actually starts going down. So you want to be careful with that. So you want to have a good quality of sleep. So you're getting older, your quality of sleep goes down, and part of that is happening because you're getting up to go to the bathroom. This is a downward cycle. You're going to have some more and more issues. You want to be very careful at that point. So yep. So honey, hold on one sec. Ed Charles, Vital Honey, is it okay? Yeah. Except for the fact that it's still sugar. Honey just has more nutrients than regular unnutrition sugar. But you do want to be careful with honey. I mean, a lot of people like to use honey as a sweetener. I'm like, yeah, you're getting the nutrients in there, but it's still sugar. And once again, your body, you'll see a video coming out soon where I'm talking about basically the science of breath and how that all works. And what you're doing is whenever you inhale, you're inhaling O2, you're inhaling oxygen. When you're exhaling CO2. So basically, what just happened that it went into your body and it comes out something different. Well, that was that poisonous leaving out. So when you're talking about putting different things into your body has to react to it differently. So you're taking solids and liquids and of course oxygen, putting it into your body. Your body as a water bag, a carbon-based water bag, is then taking all of this, combining it and sending it back out as carbon CO2. So, there's math to this. there is math to this. So what about agave? Still sugar. I mean, guys, it's fine to have sugar. The issue that we're having in the Western society is we have too much of everything. As I mentioned last week, I guess we're now going on 70 years ago. Yeah, just 70 years ago, half of the United States did not have electricity. Seems strange right now, but yeah, just 70 years ago, half the United States didn't have electricity. So there were no refrigerators first thing in the morning. There was no cold milk. There was no cold nothing. So most people didn't have breakfast. And as things have changed, now you have 24/7 everything, and people are able to just go out to McDonald's middle of the night, get yourself a sundae, get yourself all these things that are just bad for you. And because we live in a society that just says, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's all right. Here's a little piece of sugar. Oh, go ahead, get yourself a cookie, something like that. All of those things add up to you getting sick. And so it just keeps adding up and adding up. Okay. Dudley, how about, I'm not sure about that product. Sugar from trees. Yeah. Yeah, that's a naturally occurring alcohol. It's still the same thing. Here's the thing. The reason why we are into, sugars and everything is because our ancient ancestors, this was a signal. Just remember, this brain is our second brain. Our first brain is our stomach. When you think about a baby can barely see, can barely do anything, but they grabbing at whatever they can because their first stomach saying, feed me. It's not too later on, our brains like start catching up and everything. So we are dictated by our first brain saying, okay, we're going out there and getting something. If you come across an apple grove, some fruits, something like that, stay your ignorant ass there and keep on eating. So when we come across something that's sweet, we're naturally drawn to it, addicted to it. That's the reason why I refuse to give children sugar, because it's going to keep popping up. They're going to keep asking for more and more sugar, as their brain is supposed to do. The problem is it's too readily available. Too many people think that, oh, go ahead, get a kid that. Your kid is not going to go crazy around me. That's not happening. All right. Benny B, what's going on with you, sir? Let's see. Benny B, I drink organic teas, and one of the ingredients is licorice. What's your thoughts on licorice? That's fine. Licorice, in teas is fine because you're dealing with a minimal amount. So yeah, once again, it's when we start going overboard with things that we run into issues. All right, Dwizzle Dizzle. Can I get a discount code for African Fly, please, my man? Yes, you can. You can go to for everybody. You can go to AfricanFly.com. You can put in the code AF10. It's A as in African, F as in fly, 10, where you can get a 10% discount on your entire order. That includes shipping also if you want to get that by priority. And for guys who do not know, African Fly is an all-natural liquid aphrodisiac. Basically, what it does is two things. It increases your blood flow and increases your testosterone levels so that you can get your erection going. We have a sexual performance scale, the scale of 1 to 10, where 10 means everything's working, 1 means nothing's working at all. You need to go to emergency room, damn near. Most guys are in that 5 to 7 range where they are becoming unreliable. And that's where African Fly can really shine and help you out. It can help move you up the scale. But as I always say, it is a supplement. It's meant to supplement the other things you're doing. So that's the reason why we have these conversations where we can talk about the other things that you're supposed to do. And if you go to the website, we're going to have we have a bunch of videos on there too that break down the things that you're supposed to do. Don Coolio, love that, man. Hey, thank you, appreciate that. Okay. Oh, all right. Uh, good to see you again, brother. All right. Mm-hmm. Uh, Yep. And for those guys, if you want to check in the chat room, we do have the sexual performance scale where we break it down and get all that good information to you. It's a scale that I came up with just to make it easier to have conversations. As I was doing consultation with guys, we go through a whole bunch of questions trying to figure out where they are sexually, and you know how we do. It's like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm good. I don't have any problems at all. It's like, why are we talking then? Oh, well, just this one thing I got going on. It's like, okay, come on, man. So yeah. Mhm. Do you ever add olive oil to water and consume it? No, dope law. What's going on with you, sir? Hey. Good to see you again. Add olive oil to water and consume it. No, I have not done that. I'm pretty cautious with olive oil because, I mean, actually have some olive oil here that ended up costing me like $12 freaking. Because when you're talking about olive oil, you're talking about a lot of times it's not actual olive oil. It's not the cold pressed olive oil that you need to be healthy. So you want to be very careful with that. Mhm. All right. Could someone have enlarged prostate and don't see any symptoms? Oh yeah, of course. If you're not paying attention, for me, until I got this information, I wasn't paying attention. I just thought, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. If no one ever told me that, it's like, until it got on my freaking nerves, and I was like, okay, to the Google machine and start, figuring some stuff out, asking other people. That's when I started finding out, the good information. So yeah, I am very hard on the medical industries simply because they are backed by the pharmaceutical industry. And that's the reason why you go to your doctor, and it seems like the only thing they can possibly do is give you a pill. So, for a lot of them, they're not getting the information that they need in terms of the other things that you're supposed to do. And sometimes they do, but for the most part, when we're talking about people who are going to the medical schools and everything, they get like 2 hours on nutrition. Remember, I was saying you put solids into your body, and there's this whole complex process, and it comes out as gas. 86% CO2 coming out of your breath, and the rest is coming out through sweatation, urination, defecation. How are they not supposed to know what's going into your body? That's the most important part. So, you do want to go to your doctor and make sure you're getting get it checked out. They are great at diagnosing things. Uh-huh. Benny B, thoughts on Damian T? Yeah, I would say go for it. Because I just have ashwagandha tea. The teas work. The teas work. They're very subtle. It's not like a lot of times people will go and get natural supplements and think they're supposed to work like pharmaceuticals. The pharmaceutical industry is here for you to keep coming back for something that's not going to repair you. It's just going to keep you where you are. Now, think about this. You go to your doctor, say, hey, doctor, I have a problem. They say, what's the problem? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, let me diagnose it. You're absolutely right. Here you go. I'm going to give you this pill. Okay. After I take this pill, I'm going to be cured, right? No. What you're going to do is keep taking the pill, and you'll have the same problem for a long period of time. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Ah, dope law. What tea did you have today? Advance, can you open up that back there? I think I had the maca tea. Yep. The green can to the left. To the left. Is that it? That's the lean. Oh, yep.
Yes. No.
Yep. This is the lean green. Got a whole bunch of lights on that. Let me see if I can get that in focus. Yeah, lean green. You know, I like just going through and checking out different teas. Uh, because when you hit a certain point in your life, actually no, at all points in your life, you should be focusing on getting as much energy into your body as possible, as much goodness as possible, especially if you've gone through your life doing what we all did. I'm going to go get some pop rocks and some soda and some Starburst and some oatmeal cream pies. Eating stacks of pancakes. Let me stop before I get somebody in trouble. But yeah, we do all that stuff, and then it slowly adds up. Your body keeps count. Even if you're told, no, you can do it and you're going to be okay. Don't worry until later. For those guys who don't know, oh yeah, thanks, Dope Law. For guys who I didn't mention this earlier, but if you could go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, get the notifications and everything. We do videos every Thursday at 1 p.m. That's when we release the main video. And then at 9 p.m., like we are right now, I go live and we break it all the way down. All the way down. All right. Thanks to Dope Law. Ali, my man from Zimbabwe. I think I missed that. Good to see you, Ali. Yeah, you missed the last couple of ones. I'm sorry, missed you too, bro. All right. All right. Just going through. So yeah, guys, I love all the questions. Keep coming with them. Keep coming with them. All right. Kenise, hey Brian, does one heal without pills? I've been recovering from an internal injury since April. I've been going vegan since. Do you also suggest CBD oil or marijuana? No. All right, so CBD oil, that's in question. I can't speak on that. But in terms of marijuana, obviously, especially if you're smoking it, inhaling smoke is not healthy for you. It's just not. If it's going to relieve some injuries, man, calm down, man. Got mean looks back here. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. Just pass it, man. It's just not good for you, especially but here's the truth. Here's the truth. It's something that the reason why it's called recreational is so for you to have fun. If you have a broke leg, you are not supposed to be out on the swing set. How about that? You're not supposed to be having fun if you're injured. So if you're injured, no, I wouldn't say marijuana. But if you're recovering from internal injury, yeah, take it very seriously. You want to be careful with vegan food. Now, it's better than the animal food. However, with vegan food, it is only set up that way so you can take, you have a substitute while you're trying to transition to what we are naturally supposed to eat, which is plant food. So if you have an internal injury, what you want to do is eat as much energy. You're going to get as much more energy out of fruits and vegetables than anything else. What goes into a fruit or a vegetable? Soil, sun, water. Bingo. That's all you need. That's all you need. All right. Is the vaccine going to kill your sex drive? No. Nah, you're gonna be good, man. I'm not sure which vaccine you're talking about. I'm assuming that you're talking about the Corona beer virus. Yeah, that one. I want to get a strike on YouTube. But yeah, no, it's not going to affect that. If it did, then there'd be huge outrage, and no, you're fine. Okay. All right. Great questions, y'all. Let me see. Got a follow up question. Also, how do you relieve anxiety and stress without using pills or drugs or marijuana CBD? Like, what's the best way? Okay. We have a video coming up talking just about that and talking about breathing. So, the fastest way to relax yourself is actually by breathing. Before I would say something like meditation, but it's like if you're under a lot of stress and you're thinking a lot, all of a sudden, like, don't think about anything, is not going to work as well. But what you can do is do breathing. So here's a quick breathing technique to stabilize yourself. Okay. And it's really easy. All you're going to do is just breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 and breathe out at a count of 4. Deep breathing. What that does, it actually, your body, your heart, which pumps out the blood, which needs the air to work with the lungs, get the blood going, all of that good stuff. When you breathe, you actually are balancing out your body. So your heartbeat is controlled by the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, two pieces. So the sympathetic nervous system, that's the fight or flight. That's the side that's like, it's a lion. Oh my God, I'm gonna run. It does a bunch of things. Basically, it's going to prepare your body for fight or flight. It's going to move your blood to your muscles. It's going to, your breath is going to get more shallow. You're just prepared to just, and there's a lot of stress. That stress shows up throughout your entire body. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it's constant stress. So instead of it being a lion, it's divorce papers, child support. Somebody hear me. It's stress. It's stress. It's your boss. It's traffic. It's it's your side chick during Christmas. It's a whole bunch of different issues. So yeah, if you're having this level of stress on a constant basis, then your body is wired for stress. So the vast majority of people are already wired for stress. Your parasympathetic is your relief. It helps you with your hunger. So it's like, as I said before, your blood flow is going to your muscles when you're under stress, so you can take off running. Except there's no need to do that. But while that's happening, it's taking away from what's going on in your stomach in terms of relaxing yourself, relaxing your tensions, and also, of course, it's going to take away from your ED. So while you should be in parasympathetic at this point, the most tamest, safest point in human history, you should be very relaxed. However, if you're looking at TV shows that have a lot of stress in it, you're looking at your phone every second, those things add to a level of stress. When you start breathing, that's the fastest way to control your body in terms of controlling your heartbeat and relaxing yourself. And so you're doing that deep breathing. You're actually expanding your diaphragm. You're moving the internal organs. It's a wonderful thing. So one, look out for the video that's going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks. And it's going to be able to help you a lot with stress and anxiety. So use that 4 and 4. Also, there's another technique. There's tons of techniques of breathing techniques. Really, it's all about focus and practice so that you're doing it as often as possible. But another one is called the whiskey technique. It's called a whiskey technique because you shouldn't use it a lot because it's going to slow your body down a little bit too much and you almost to your point where you're hyperventilating. But all it is a 4 count of air coming in and a 8 count of air going out. If you're trying to go to sleep, that's a great one to help you with your sleep because it's going to relax you. You don't want to go overboard with it because it's whiskey. All right. Woo. Great question. Absolutely great question. Hopefully that helped you out. All right. Ali, what's going on? Got some beetroots, but I can't find how to eat them. Enjoy them well. How do you consume your beets? I use beet juice. I just get it from the store. And they now have a lot of beet powders. You may see some commercials on YouTube now. So they have beet powder, just easier to consume. You want to get the beet root powder, not the beet juice powder. The difference being the beet root powder, they actually take the root and they take the moisture out. It's like, orange juice concentrate where they concentrate it by taking all the moisture, all the water out of it. Same thing, they just dry it. But when you have this, the beet root, you're getting the actual root. The beet root juice powder, they actually take the beet and they juice it. Unfortunately, you're taking out a lot of the fiber and you're leaving a lot of sugar in there. So when you're taking that, adding it to water to make it to constitute it again and start drinking it, you're getting a lot more sugar. You're not getting the fiber that would come with the beet powder. But that's a great question. That is a great question. Uh-huh. All right, where we at? Hope that answered it for you, Ali. Does soy, pardon me, pow, does, does soy kill, oh, hold on. There we go. Does soy kill testosterone? All right. The issue with soy is that soy by itself, if you get the actual natural soy that when they first found out about soy in Japan, the island in Japan where the people were eating it and living longer, like, oh my God, this must be great. And so what did Western medicine do? Said what Western countries do, they say, hey, this is good for you. So let's bring it over, and hey, this has no flavor. We can use this in a lot of things. In fact, we use it in damn near everything. So you end up with the number one processed plant in America is corn. The number two is soy. So the issue with soy is that you're having so much of it already. So there's soy in so many different products. You may not even be aware of it, just like there's corn in just about damn near everything. You go into a 7-Eleven, that is a corn and sugar shop. Everything has corn and sugar in it. So you want to be careful with soy because you're already consuming a lot of it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Great question. Douglas Graves, do you take African flower with beetroot juice? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that sort of dovetails in this other question by Corey. Because the other thing I do with that beetroot juice and that African flower is I take my Irish sea moss. Unfortunately, I do not have a discount code. Nikki, do we have a discount code for the Irish moss? If we do, we'll make sure we get that up to you as quickly as possible. Uh-huh. All right. Oh, no, unfortunately, we don't. Okay, sorry about that. We'll work on that. Uh-huh. Hold on one second. All right. Moonshine Gunners. My missus is trying to shed some weight. Any tips? Um, well, obviously, it'd be much easier to have a conversation with her. But I will say some of the things that most people are missing, and the number one foundational thing that people are missing is sleep. When you sleep, your sleep is a basis for everything else. You get good sleep, then you're able to control yourself much easier, which is the number one issue with people who are overeating is that you don't have control. I don't want to eat this, but I can't help myself. How much sleep did you get? The more sleep that you have, you also build up more testosterone. I mean, it's different for ladies, of course, but for guys, we're building up more testosterone. You're getting more human growth hormone. You're actually healing yourself. You look at people who get a lot of sleep and they actually stay younger longer. You look at people who don't get sleep. What do they look like? Like they're tired. So go ahead and get that sleep in. That'll help with a lot of other things. And of course, the things that I always talk about, the ESEIS system, ESEIS, energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and your soul. Those are the 5 areas that all humans have to take care of together. And when we talk about energy, I mean energy. We are used to eating processed dead things. Energy comes from plants and vegetables, legumes, beans, nuts, etc. So that's where you want to get that from. Those things will actually help, of course, getting to sleep, exercise, obviously. And the thing about that a lot of people don't think about, I think people have got caught up in counting calories. And really, if you're trying to lose weight, an easy way to think about it is counting time. So it's like, okay, let's say you drink Starbucks coffee, one of those Frappuccino, blah, 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 with a whole bunch of sugar in it. Yeah, it's, you can say, oh, well, I got this many calories. I got to burn this many calories. It's like, well, your body will actually burn stuff off by itself. It just so happens that you drink that, it's going to take 4 hours to burn it off by itself. Now, if you had, a donut with it and then a McFlurry and then whatever you're just adding it on. And so now your body by itself without exercising will need to take more time. So you take that, it will take you 4 hours for your body by itself to get rid of, breathe out, or defecate, urinate, sweatate, all of that out of your system. But when it comes to getting exercise in. Well, if you jog for 30 minutes, you can get rid of it. So you see that balance of the exercise and what you consume. So now instead of you thinking like wondering how many calories it is, well, really it's how many hours is going to take for you to get it out of your system. So yeah, you want to think of it in that way. That's a great way to look at losing some weight. Uh-huh. Double T says, is there such thing as eating too much fruit? Um, to a point, it's just too much. This eating too much of anything at some point is going to be to your detriment. Even eating too much orange juice, drinking too much orange juice, drinking too much water will flush out your electrolytes. You'll just pass out. So yes, you can take it too far. But when you're eating fruit, because of the amount of fiber that's in the fruit, it'll be very difficult. You just be like, you're like watching a fat kid just trying to devour that last Twinkie. Just I don't want to do it. Yeah, you'll be at that point. So it'll be difficult to do that. Yep. Great question, Double T. Uh huh. Hmm. Okay. Uh, just want to get this in there. If frequent urination, it I guess is frequent urination through the day a sign also? I'm assuming you're saying of prostate issues of BPH. I do hydrate and eat plenty of fruits also. Okay. That you have to go ahead and get a diagnosis for. It could be an issue, just an overactive bladder. So that may not be a prostate issue. We're also talking about possibility of blockage in your urinary tract. So you want to, I'm a coach. You want to check out with a doctor, get a good diagnosis for that. But once again, if the doctor is saying just take these pills, be very careful. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Let me see. Uh, Corey, does Irish sea moss expire or go bad when stored in the refrigerator, etc.? It should. It better. Because that's what's supposed to happen to natural foods. Quick story: my grandmother, I remember when she was later on in life, it was, she got to a point where she was bedridden, and I was like, oh well, I was trying to encourage her to eat better, and I was like, let me get an apple for you. So she had these apples on the counter. She's like, I'm not eating that apple. I was like, why not? She says it's been there for over a week. Okay. She's like, boy, apples are not supposed to last that long. And she's old school. She's from the country. An apple falls out of the tree, it lands on the ground. You pick that apple up, you take it into the house. Within 3 days, the apple is spoiling, because that's what apples are supposed to do. They're not supposed to sit on the ground for like 3 or 4 weeks before the seed can get out. It's a natural process that's going on here. And if Irish sea moss, I have Irish sea moss. I had a bladder it was sitting in there. It takes longer to consume the bladder because I had long story. Anyway, and it did spoil. So yes, it is supposed to spoil. It will spoil. So go ahead and consume it. Go ahead and consume it. Uh huh. And so yeah, the date time, I believe, is 1 month in the refrigerator and 3 months in the freezer. Yeah. So that's your timeline. But you want to get it as fresh as possible. It's like it's a plant. This Irish sea moss is a plant in the sea. So they got to go through the process of turning it into a gel, et cetera, et cetera. You want to get it. It's like everything else, as fresh as possible. Uh-huh. Bahamian Jedi B. Sorry I'm late. You all good there, man? Good to see you. Arula, I got a taste. You don't like the taste? Any brand you find that tastes good, it's arugula. That's the taste that it is. I mean, there's like any other plant. There's different variations. So I haven't come across something that tastes any particularly different. It does have a bitter, nutty taste to it. I sort of like it, but go ahead and hook your salads up. I always say this to people. People want to do that. I'm gonna just put a tomato on it and some croutons. And hey, there are 250,000 plants and vegetables on the planet. Use every one of them. Find out what tastes good to you. Okay. Ali, Zimbabwe in the house, Africa in the house. For about 2 years now, I've been drinking. I've had a drinking problem. About 500 liters of whiskey a day. Oh my. I'm worried about my health, and you should. I hope a plant based diet will restore my body, and it will help. But yeah, you definitely want to back away from that alcohol. Um, and it's a process. Just like anything else that you put into your body, your intestines has to break it down and turn it into you. And so when you're consuming something on a regular basis, at some point, your body, well, not at some point, as soon as you eat it, your body inside of your intestines creates trillions and multiple of trillions of bacteria and fungi that break it all down. The issue is that it also sends signals to your brain. So you went from, when you first drinking, you had a nice little colony of bacteria, and now you have a freaking nation with warheads. And so they're the ones sending the signal. You're saying, I don't want to drink anymore. Your gut is sending the signal to your brain. No, we're here. And we need for you to send some more. So, you want to start looking at different things. I mean, a lot of times for a lot of people, you get into drinking alcohol, it becomes a pattern. It's just what you do. And so you want to look for ways to break that pattern. If you're around people that drink often, it's better to find people who don't so that you can break that pattern. But yeah, you need to get off the alcohol. Well, as far as a plant-based diet, yes, it will help you faster than just about anything else. So I think I got double T with the sugar question. Leeway. Water can kill you. OMG. yeah. We're talking about too much water. Too much water. Flush you of your electrolytes. Let me see. About 2 years. Okay. Yep. We got you, Ali. I like that suit, man. Come on, man. All right. 500 milliliters. Much better. Much better. All right. There. Hey, Moonshine, thank you. So yeah. I want to make sure I've gone through and got as many of these questions as possible. Yeah, that's a good point there right there, Larry. The soils are not as nutrient rich now as it was many years ago. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of different issues when it comes to our health. I mean, we have to think of this way. This generation of children that are growing up right now will not live as long as you. So that means we were already going downhill before you were born. So there's already a whole bunch of things that are wrong. Fortunately, there are a lot of people who are recognizing this and who are making the changes. I'm actually planning on getting a planter. There's a planter that will allow you to grow fruits and vegetables in your home year round. Yeah, I'm down with that. Leeway 300. I have a Jamaican friend that says eating Jamaican food will keep your Johnson strong. Is there truth to that? It just depends on what you're eating. If you're eating a bucket of jerk wings every day, the answer is no. But there are a lot of other fruits and vegetables on the island, and other. They've come up with a bunch of things, and Irish moss included. Yep. Bunch of drinks, all of that good stuff. What about sarsaparilla? Don't have a problem with sarsaparilla. It's all natural. It's what you do with it. It is what you do with it. So, guys, we're coming up on the hour. I want to thank you so very much. You got it, Leeway. I want to thank you so very much for joining us. Hey, please go ahead and let your friends know. I mean, we need to get as many guys involved with this. There's been a movement to get as much information to the ladies as possible. But unfortunately, they talk already. We know they talk amongst each other about health and things like that. For a lot of guys, we don't do it as much. And we are the life givers. So we have to, here's the thing, as you get older and you can't function, the world ain't kind. The world ain't kind. And yes, if you have not done so already, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. If you would like to check out African Fly, go to africanfly.com. We will be back next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have a video coming out next Thursday at 1 p.m. It's going to give you the information that you need. And yeah, so I'm about to close down over here, turn off these lights so these tiny insects ain't flying through my screens. So it's great to see all of you guys again. Thank you very much. Yeah, of course, if you want to learn more about African Fly, go to africanfly.com. Appreciate you all. And this is Uncle B saying, get your game up and go hard. Peace out.